Thank you so much, Dr. Ashok Kumar, for briefing us and delivering the welcome remarks. Now, before I invite our chief guest, I want to invite Dr. Mrityunjay Chaubeji uh, just to give an outline and theme address in terms of introducing the topic of EPR for our audience. Dr. Chaube.
Thank you, Akram. I think this is one of a good topic, EPR, extended producer responsibility. And I represent from the producer and the brand owner side. So I think I shall explain some of the things which we want that the things should be embedded. But before coming to those things, I think as a concept, this EPR is a very good concept, and it came from the Sweden in first time in 1990. And the basic idea about this EPR is add-on cost of environmental cost on the product. So the basic idea is to add on the product whatever the environmental pollution cost associated with any of the manufacturing process. So under our EPR, which came Plastic Waste Management Act in 2016, so the responsibility of collecting the plastic and recycling it goes on the brand owner or producer. And I think concept-wise it is very good, and it is helping from last 2016, and then some amendment came in 2018. We feel that it is helping improving the recycling. And basically today, if we see plastic as a plastic in industry or in society also, it also helped in many ways, because when we use the plastic, then a lot of weight get reduced in the packaging, and while transporting the product, we get several advantages because of reduction of weight, and the other advantages are also associated with it. But the basic problem in plastic is this, that today if you see worldwide, then nearly 40% goes to landfill, and 30% goes to the sea, and 15% goes to incineration, and 15% only recycling and recollection of plastic waste happen. And out of that 15%, the World Economic Forum report is showing that only 2% actually get recycled and reused. So main problem is that a lot of plastic waste goes to the landfill, and the sea disposal, which is happening 30% of plastic waste, that is a biggest problem, because as per one of the report, it is coming that by 2050, number of plastic pieces will be more than number of fish inside the sea. So I think that has given us and almost all government to think that how to recycle and reuse plastic. And I think this EPR is doing good work in that direction, and we are collecting the plastic from the market. Only point here is that in this policy, if we see, the cost fixation is not there. So as a manufacturer or a brand owner, when they interact with the recycler, then they have to invest a lot of time in doing the negotiation, that at what cost they will collect the multi-layer plastic, at what cost they will collect the monolayer. I think if the government came out with certain broader framework, that this will be the near about approximate cost per kg for the collection, then that will provide a good things, where we cannot have end with the so many time consumption in the negotiation of fixing the cost. I think rest of things are fine, and I feel especially that act is a fine, and through the regulation we achieve several good things. But personally, I feel my experience in industry is this, that if we embed SDG 12, which is saying responsible consumption and production, that help us a lot. And if we embed SDG 12 in our regulation, especially in Environmental Impact Assessment Act, while giving the environment clearance to company, and there if we say that try to reduce the plastic use by so much percentage, and if all the business and industry start working in the direction of reducing the plastic use itself, then it will be very helpful and good thing. And at UPL, we have found, I think last 4 years, a lot of reduction we have done by changing the design in our packaging and by modifying the packaging material. So huge amount of plastic use has been reduced. And that is the main thing where on SDG 12, we have to work from the industry side, and also we have to embed this in the policy. So I think that help a lot when we work on the technology, on the design change, and we can reduce at source the plastic use. And in the collection and the reuse direction, I think EPR rule, which was framed in 2016, it's working perfectly and it's helping in the recycling and reuse. So I think I shall conclude my talk, and then again for question and answer we can talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Chobe, for giving the theme address, outlining the activities and the basic ground of EPR. I now directly want to go to our chief guest of the afternoon, Mrs. Saloni Goyal ma'am. Now, Saloni Goyal ma'am is very special in today's talk because ma'am's background that that starts, and from where she started her work and how it has been going is wonderful. From starting with the Uttar Pradesh government's health department to becoming member of Central Pollution Control Board, having some exposure and experience with this most important organization, then working with United Nations Environment Program for a couple of months in terms of guiding such international organization, having policies, environmental policies. Then again becoming member of the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and now finally at Niti Aayog, guiding in the same thing. So having experience and exposure with 3 important government institutions, at the same time also with the international organization like UNEP. So ma'am, kindly deliver your inaugural remarks or address of this important afternoon. Yeah, ma'am, you are mute, I guess.
Yeah. So even we people who are working with technology sometimes get these technology glitches. So Akramji, thank you so much to start with for using the platform of that Times Policy is creating to bring on board key stakeholders on the subject of EPR and the larger, wider conversation around circularity. So thank you so much for bringing me on board. I'm sure in this whole entire event, I will learn a lot from the industry leaders on this subject. And that learning will be extremely valuable because as we understand that after policies and laws and rules are framed, finally, it is the challenges of their implementation on the ground that have to be tackled with. And it is especially with respect to EPR and circularity in general, industry is a very important and a key stakeholder to make it a success. So thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Chobe, for your opening remarks. I think they set the tone and tenor for the afternoon. And Dr. Ashok Kumar, thank you for welcoming me and initiating this whole process. Thank you. So needless to say, I feel privileged to be here. And what I would like to, I think there's a lot that everybody understands, but we need to understand that circularity actually offer multiple benefits. It means more efficient natural resource utilization. It means reduced environmental pollution, including greenhouse gases, as you have mentioned. And it also means reduced burden of management of waste, which again is an urban challenge. And increasingly, this challenge is being appreciated to not just be limited to urban setups. Waste management is increasingly becoming a challenge even for rural settings. So circularity also offers the benefit in some cases of reducing costs, especially when we try and estimate the costs across the life cycle of a product. And certainly in creating livelihoods, in creating job opportunities, which for a country like India are an important consideration going forward on our development pathway. So as you know, India generates 50